That's right!
Welcome to The Know, I'm Mica Burton.
And I'm Adam Ellis.
Square Enix brought the house down at E3 2015 with the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then caused fanboys and fangirls everywhere to shed tears of joy with the extended trailer that year at PSX 2015. And since then? Well, the fanboys have been getting a bit of the blue ball treatment.
Since yesterday was not only the big Final Fantasy 30th anniversary event, but also the 20th anniversary of the release of Final Fantasy VII, Square Enix was poised to make some big announcements about the future of the remake everyone's been waiting for. And instead, they released a screenshot.
And what a screenshot it was. When you add that to some of the troubling new comments about the game's development we've heard this month, it certainly begs the question, is this game ever going to come out? Is it real?
The most recent round of disturbing comments comes from the game's producer Yoshinori Kitase. In a new interview with Famitsu, translated by Nova Chrysalis, Kitase gave some details about how the game's shaping up, and it doesn't sound pretty per se.
For starters, they're still working on the scene from the trailer. So, there's that.
Kitase said, "We're currently brushing up the scene from the announcement trailer. We can now see the line of quality we're aiming for more clearly, but there's still a ways to go. Approximately 8 more years, in fact." That's not part of the quote, I added that part on.
What makes the quote a bit more alarming is that the scene from the trailer is basically the opening sequence of Final Fantasy VII. But to be fair, it could be that they're just coming back to it and polishing it. But that's not normally something you do until the end of development, and judging by some other comments, that's not the case at all.
When Final Fantasy VII Remake was first announced, there was a bit of a reaction to Square Enix plans to release the game episodically in order to keep up the speed of delivery to fans. Kitase spoke about those plans, and once again, it might be cause for concern.
For one, Kitase's comments make it sound like there are going to be very long gaps in between each episode. And two, he's not even sure if all the episodes are going to cover the full game.
Kitase said Final Fantasy VII Remake will be episodic, and if we want to have it go all the way to the end of the original version, then I believe we'll need to devote everything we've got for it. So I have no idea what will happen for things such as filler development between episodes and other works. This sounds like a fucking mess.
Guys, this is the game's producer basically saying, fuck if I know how far these episodes are gonna go, and you know what? That is not comforting.
So either they totally haven't planned this thing out, or maybe they're open to the possibility of splitting the full game into multiple parts, with multiple episodes in each one.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Seasons 1 through 4, anybody?
That's not the way to play an RPG.
It's not! I don't like this!
So what are they spending all their time on? Well, shoring up the battle system, according to Kitase. They've finally made progress on the base of the battle system, which is being worked on by the team behind Kingdom Hearts and Dissidia Final Fantasy.
Hey, that's good news at least, but that's about where it ends, because the producer also commented that he hopes to show the game at some point this year, at some point, and that it might, hear that, might even be playable by the end of 2017.
That's somewhat comforting, I hope.
Is it?
Yeah, I hope. Okay, so to recap, they're still working on the same scenes they showed in 2015. The episodes are going to be really spread out. They have no idea how much ground the episodes are going to cover. They've barely ironed out the foundations of the battle system, and the game might even be playable by the end of the year.
But unfortunately for Final Fantasy VII Remake, these new comments match some of the others we've been hearing about the game for the last month from different sources.
The game's director himself, Tetsuya Nomura, indicated as much in another interview with Famitsu. Speaking about how long we'll have to wait for Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts 3, Nomura said, "The release of these titles will still be a while. However, we have many titles releasing this year, and we hope you look forward to any surprises."
You know what surprises I want? Final Fantasy VII Remake. And in Polygon Final Fantasy VII Oral History that they published earlier this month, they commented that Final Fantasy VII art director Yusuke Naora, who left Square in July 2016, said he hadn't seen more of the remake than the public had, and that was 8 months after the last trailer.
A lot of this news will no doubt be a little frustrating for series fans. After all, wasn't the whole point of releasing the games episodically supposed to be that it would cut down on the waiting time?
Yeah, well, see how that's worked out. Yeah, it's great. Previous rumors had placed the first episode of Final Fantasy VII Remake to release later this year, with the PC version dropping sometime in 2018. Ha ha ha! But at this point, it seems like we'll be lucky if we're playing the first episode by the end of 2018, or by God, 2019 for that matter.
This latest news has some wondering if maybe Square Enix needs to make some big changes to their development team. Yesterday, Wired's Chris Kohler posed the question to Twitter, does Square need to cut Tetsuya Nomura off from being in charge of video games?
Ooh, ouch. But he certainly has a point. After all, it wasn't until Nomura was bumped as the lead of Final Fantasy XV before that game could make any kind of significant progress. Square Enix made changes in development structure back in December 2013 and brought in Hajime Tabata to replace him.
Tabata had a serious reputation as a guy who gets shit done, and he did. And that's exactly what he did on Final Fantasy, cleaning up the mess and getting it in line for November's release. And even then, it sounds like things barely made it in time for the game to come out, and it got delayed.
A lot. Of course, none of that's even mentioning Nomura's other semi-vaporware title, Kingdom Hearts 3. It was announced at E3 2013, but we're still waiting on something more significant about this progress as well. But hey, you can play the game's $60 demo if you get Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Will we ever see those summons? Who knows? Will we ever see Sora spinning on teacups? Probably not!
The fact that they've skipped out on Final Fantasy VII 20th anniversary, a Final Fantasy VII game in development, should speak volumes about what the company has to show for the last year or so of work.
Hopefully Square Enix surprises us with something later this year. We've still got E3, Tokyo Game Show, and PSX where they can make up some ground. Plus, this month's upcoming Sapporo Snow Festival will feature Final Fantasy VII themed snow sculptures, so maybe we'll get something there?
Maybe they can make a glacier to represent the game's development time. What do you guys think of Final Fantasy Remake's crazy slow development and the newest comments from the game's producer? Did Square announce the game too early?
For more details about the hottest new gaming vaporware and all of Mica's Square Enix tiers, like this video and subscribe to the know. What do you think of the... fine.
Square Enix projected new project hours did news to E3 2015 with...
What the hell?
Go ahead and think.
Wow.
Bam!
That was so speedy.
I wanted to do it.